I wish I knew how to quit you.
Then why don't you?
You're listening to Codependent Content, the podcast where we discuss the TV shows, movies, books, and video games in which we share an unhealthy relationship.
You don't have anything to prove. Yeah, I used to wish you'd say that. You have no idea how much.
My name is Mattias. Join us as we try to unravel the characters, stories, and worlds that we are entangled with. Because just when we think we're done with content, it draws us back in. Hey, you ready to chat, Morgan?
Yeah, let's do it.
Ready to chat? Ready to talk about Foundation, Season 3, Episode 7?
I think so.
Foundation's End. As previously mentioned, this is Codependent Content. My name is Mattias.
Hi, I'm Morgan.
Hey, well, welcome back, everyone. I'm glad we are all doing fine after last week's episode. Nothing crazy has happened. No major events. This episode was pretty chill, I'd say, so yeah. And all of our theories were absolutely correct. And I don't even know why we're doing this anymore. We should just, it's pretty predictable at this point.
Yeah, we could probably just tell you how the next 3 episodes end.
Yeah, obviously. But no, this is Codependent Content where we talk about movies and stuff and nerd out a bit. Quick question, Morgan. Do you have summer's almost over? Do you have a favorite movie of the summer yet?
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's your favorite movie of the summer?
It's not even close.
Is this the best movie of 2025 or just summer of 2025?
Summer.
Okay.
But for me, it's got to be Naked Gun.
Naked Gun. Oh, interesting.
I think it's hilarious. I think it's like, I love seeing Liam Neeson's. Excuse me. I love seeing.
Did you just do the Key and Peele sketch?
Yeah, right.
Liam Neeson's.
No, I love watching him step into like an absolutely ridiculous role. I'm here for the Pamela Anderson renaissance, and I think it's also a good time for the movie because it's full of cops just being idiots and there's nothing redeeming about them. It doesn't try and apologize for them or make you say like, hey, they're people too. It's like, no, they're just imbeciles. Yeah, I like it. I loved it.
Cool. I think nothing can topple Superman. I think Superman movies this summer successfully rebooted this DC thing. James Gunn accomplished that, So in James Gunn's hands, we are in good hands. And that's really cool. And I think, again, Superman ended up becoming like the theme of the year as well. Kindness is punk rock. Being kind and being a hero and all these things are things we can all aspire to be. Being human who fails, and struggles is also not a problem, and we can fight for perfection all we want, but in the end we're like imperfect and it's okay to believe in that as well. So there's just a lot that I took away from Superman. We never get to do like a full podcast about it, but that I could probably like talk about a lot at some point. But yeah, that to me is movie of the summer, probably going to be movie of the year. Wow. Who knows? I mean, Sinners is definitely up there. I think we talked about before.
Sinners is movie of the year for me right now.
But yeah, maybe at the end of the year, we'll do like a top 10 thing or something, which I've done before. Sometimes I do a montage at the end of the year and I include shows and stuff there.
Sure.
Speaking of shows, The Pit released a trailer for season 2, which is really cool. It's already coming back. Have you seen The Pit yet?
No.
Definitely watch The Pit. This like, it's interesting how like that's such a good show. And it's interesting how even in like the nerd corner, it's this medical drama has like also taken over. I don't know what it is about it, but
I've heard many good things about The Pit.
Yeah,
I gotta watch it.
It's weird to me because getting a trailer so quick after the first season already, and it's wild to me to think about because I think I was reading an article and they mentioned it specifically how in a world where we're often waiting 2 years, 2 maybe 3 years for the next season, the pit is committed to like 1 season per year,
Yeah.
and it feels fast to me, but I was like, oh, I guess it's not that fast. It's just a regular, it's been a year,
Yeah.
but we're just so used to waiting for things coming out along, and Foundation included, everything's got to be big budget, a lot of sci-fi things, so crazy to me. There's some good stuff coming down the pipeline though. So I guess Mainland bringing up that, because as we go into fall and stuff, we should be thinking about what the next thing is going to be eventually, so if anyone has any suggestions. I know, is it Pluribus? The Vince Gilligan show that's coming out on Apple TV. Vince Gilligan, famously of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul fame. He's teaming back up with Rhea Seehorn, and who knows else will make a cameo, probably.
I mean, who wouldn't for him? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I wouldn't be surprised if, some of our favorites, even as a co-star, guest star, show up. But yeah, I'm thinking that might be a good November thing. After take a little break, maybe do a little After Earth recap, Alien Earth, not After Earth, Alien Earth recap, other stuff. We'll see. Maybe do some video games. I might also be moving in November, so who knows what else I'll have to take care of. But maybe Pluribus, however it's pronounced. I actually haven't looked up the name. That I'm recalling from memory. It was something like that. But yeah, that might be on the table, I think, for sure. I think there's other stuff coming out that I need to look up I'm not aware of. But if there's anything else people want to talk about, I think it's going to be hard to like miss a Vince Gilligan thing. Yeah. Though Apple TV is raising their prices. And
are they?
Yeah. Not happy about that.
From what to what?
So what, we're at like $10. I think it's going to like $13.99 or maybe something like that. It's a
40% increase,
25% or 30 or whatever I read is pretty significant, Yeah. And it's getting a little bit frustrating. And at this point, you know how I feel about swashbuckling. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Let's get into, let's see if I have anything really quickly in terms of, I have a fun comment. It's not feedback, but it's a very, very fun comment. I'd love to see what your thoughts are on this.
Oh, okay.
Chris on TikTok says, I think I figured it out, y'all. At the end of season 3, it will be revealed that they are stuck in a loop. Season 4 will take place with Gale trying to prevent what happened at the end of season 3, with the Mule winning and destroying the entire galaxy. Somehow the Big Bang will reset and we will jump back with Gale surviving, trying to fix things from the first crisis onwards. Now, I love my time travel shit. I love myself some good timey-wimey shenanigans.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this, Morgan?
I mean, does that mean that
is this all a time loop? Are we gonna reset at the end of the season? And the Mule destroys everything, and then season 4 starts us back up with maybe Gale waking up, or maybe Gale waking up. I don't think it's season 1. I don't. No, I think this commenter said specifically goes back to season 1, but I think Gale waking up from her 150-year nap, could be possible.
I think that Apple TV is just going to package season 1 as season 4, and then season 5 will be season 2, and we'll just have ad infinitum seasons of Foundation repackaged as the new season. Yeah, and we'll be stuck in a time loop watching the same 3 seasons of Foundation over and over again. Right. I mean, I don't know. I think it's unlikely. I would be upset, but
I don't think it's unlikely. I don't think they would go that route, but I think there is like the slightest of possibilities. Again, if it starts back at the beginning of season 3, as opposed to going all the way back to season 1, I could see that being a plausible theory. I don't think it's going to happen. There's literally no chance from there. Like literally the chance of this happening is like 3% for me.
Yeah, I mean, hard to keep
but it's so small. That would be like
So you do think it's unlikely?
I think it's likely by 3%.
Okay.
If I were a robot, 3% would be pretty good, I think. You know? That's if I could calculate it. Wait, hold on. 2.5.
Now it's unlikely. I mean, I do think that's like, it's a cool theory, but it's like that sounds like a very tough way to hold an audience's attention.
Yeah.
By being like, we've built all this momentum for 3 seasons, and now we're just going back to some point many episodes ago to do it over again. I'm like, that feels more like a trope for film than it does for TV.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like if we were actually in Gail's perspective more often than not and not dealing with everything else, then that would be a plausible thing where Gail would have to do this. Unless it's a more, say, Back to the Future 2 thing where only she goes back and she's dealing with certain things and she has to avoid like running into herself, but that's not.
Yeah.
But I do, like I said, I want to bring spacers in, and if bringing spacers in actually involves some sort of time shenanigans, that kind of stuff would be pretty cool. Like imagining spacers like having been part of the season so far, but they're from the future and then just jumping into the past ever so slightly, you know, and we didn't know it the whole time. Man, would that be a fun?
I mean, that sounds cool.
You know, what is it? Guildenstern and Rosencrantz style version of events, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love fun theories. It's out there for sure. It's definitely not going to happen, but I mean, I love the fun theories, and I love my time travel stuff. And if you bring it in, and like,
I mean, also
I'm for it.
We've spun some theories ourselves.
Yes, we have. We have spun plenty of theories, and I think that's part of the fun.
Yeah, I mean, and like for real, it is. And as much as I'm saying, like, this isn't going to happen, I mean, A, I have no fucking idea, and B, I love theorizing about shit like this.
Yeah, absolutely. But you're right. If it did happen, I probably would be pissed off.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to watch all that again.
Yeah. But, you know, I guess we'll see. Anything's possible.
Yeah.
As soon as you involve time travel, like literally anything's possible. So
true.
Right. So yeah, I think it's as good a time as any to jump into the episode.
Yeah.
This is a spoiler warning. If for some reason you're just now discovering us and you have no idea what we're doing here and what we're talking about or why we're here, we're talking about Foundation, season 3, episode 7, Foundation's End. Hey, yeah, this is it. This is the end of Foundation.
The entity.
But yeah, spoilers, I guess I should have mentioned, are bound, right? So please don't watch or listen if you haven't seen the episode. I do suggest going back to watch Foundation and catch up if for some reason you're new here, and then coming here, because there's a lot of stuff happening, and you're going to be very lost, as most of the people are lost when I post a clip somewhere and they're like, what is this? What is this show? And it's in the caption, but they don't feel like looking it up. But you're going to be lost.
Yeah.
You're going to be so lost. But this is spoilers. We're going to go into it. We have not read the book, and so we don't actually know what's going to happen.
And we refuse to.
Yep. So stop telling me to go read the book.
We want to watch the show first, okay? Maybe we'll read the book after.
It is so much fun not knowing.
Yeah.
I like not knowing. So cool. And this is why we also speculate wildly and the reins are off, Morgan.
Yeah, do you know how easy it would be to speculate if we read the book?
How boring would that be, Morgan? Why don't we get into, Morgan, our general thoughts? General thoughts?
I like the episode. There's some cool stuff happening. We're moving forward. I don't have any like major criticism. I don't have any like major praise. I thought it was a fine episode.
It's a fine episode.
It's a B.
It's a it's a B
for me. It's not a B plus. It's not a B minus. It's
Interesting.
It's a B.
Any general things on things that you so nothing major, but anything general things you enjoyed or disliked that kind of before we did deep dive kind of thing.
My biggest thought from this episode,
and
I admit that this is weird. I had an idea pop into my head, and then I couldn't get rid of it for the rest of the entire episode. I really think Toran Mallow looks a lot like Marilyn Manson.
Oh no! Don't do that.
He's like more
don't
attractive.
Do that to me.
He's more attractive.
Yeah,
and he's
don't
younger
do that to me.
and like, you know. But I was like, as soon as I saw it and got in my head, I was like, oh man, and that kind of just that thought dominated the episode for me. He's more attractive. He's also a far better actor. But yeah.
And also does some cool things this episode.
Does some very cool things.
I would say some swashbuckling things.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I should ask you, scale of 1 to 10, what kind of swashbuckling rating does this episode get?
I'm going to give this a solid 5.
Wow, that's it?
Yeah.
I thought it would have at least been like a 6 or a 7.
I think if they had spent more time on the swashbuckling, it would have gone harder.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
It like definitely like is waist deep in the swashbuckling.
Wow.
You know, it wades in there and then they're like, oh yeah, this feels pretty good. The water's great, you know, but I'm not ready to dive in.
Yeah.
Right. And then they get out.
Too safe.
That's kind of how I feel about the swashbuckling in this episode, but it was there. They got in. Yeah. You know, they're really, really trying. Yeah. is how I feel about it. Yeah. I hate my metaphor already.
No, keep it.
Yeah. I thought Toran was great this episode. I thought overall pretty hype on everyone's character development on this episode. At least the characters we did see.
Because there are a couple that we don't see at all.
Which has happened on and off throughout the season, which I think for me is my biggest criticism of the episode, right? Our one of our main commenters, I'll call him Aiden, commented this on a TikTok, and I kind of agree. I needed Demerzel to be in this episode. Day having a peyote trip was cool and all, but I needed to at least see the beginnings of the repercussions of her meeting with Gale. Pacing is starting to upset me just a little.
Fair.
And I will say I kind of agree. At first, I noticed the pacing was, for me, a little off. We've brought up a little bit of the editing things, you know? There's like, it really bugs me, like the last time we saw Dusk, for some reason he was on the, with the, where the gun was, you know, the black hole thing.
The Death Star.
You know? And I forget exactly what the name of it is, but there is a name for it. And then the next time we see him here, he's back on the throne, right? Like how the travel is happening and where we're going. Like there's these weird editing things. The ferret shows up and he's like, oh, Day just left the ferret with no one to feed. I was like, no, that's not what happened. He left it with the kid. So why is everything so out of order right now? Like what are we missing? What happened? And so the pacing has been clear that like last week and this week we get full scenes that are just cut up and spread out, you know, and they intercut and everything, which can be fun. But when some of these scenes, like nothing's really happening, it's really frustrating. And we're 7 episodes in at this point. I felt like the pacing should have gone higher, especially as we get closer to the end, especially with an episode called Foundation's End. Yeah. And it feels like we've gotten slower. We introduce a new character. Definitely we'll deep dive into that. We'll introduce a new character that feels like a little too late for the season. Like a major character. It seems that they're going to be a major part of the story going forward. And obviously that could be a setup for season 4, but it's like, why now? If this is going to be a major part of something, I mean, again, obviously I don't know what what part they'll play is probably more of a season 4 thing, but it feels like, why are we introducing it here near the end? Or why not a little bit later if we're going to like cliffhanger it or something, you know? It feels a little wonky to me to introduce a major player on episode 7 of probably a 10 episode season.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Who knows?
And which is also, for me, part of this episode is where I realized I think we're not going to have much closure by the end of the season.
Yeah.
And it feels like, whereas most seasons we've had major time jumps, generations between seasons, this feels like season 4 is going to be probably a more regular time jump it's probably going to take place right after season 3.
Okay.
Is how I think. I think a lot of the things that we have been talking about or whatever we're doing, this feels like more of a major setup for season 4 than it's going to be like a concluding thing for season 3 and moving on, you know, with this to a new crisis or something. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know, but that's where I feel like we're going, which is a little frustrating. Just depends on how we conclude and what the payoffs are going to be. But that's how I started feeling like during this episode. Yeah. Fun things happened for me.
Definitely.
But a little frustrating on the pacing. Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know. Any other general things you would like to mention before we kind of like deep dive, kind of get into our scene by scene thing?
I don't think so.
This is a tough one in terms of episodes. I do have things broken out, but it just jumps back and forth. It does. You know? So it's hard to kind of keep track of like where we want to be. Yeah. But we're gonna try our best. And I think the only way to start is with the beginning. And there's a pair of scenes that essentially bookend this episode. Yeah. And we go back to an origin of sorts. Yeah. To possibly, I don't know, 30, 40-ish years. It just says some years before. On some planet that is obviously one of the breadbasket planets, Harvest. And what happens here is, I'm going to try and recap these things and make it easier. In this scenes, we get a flashback to a kid and his mother, and this is a Foundation breadbasket planet where they are struggling to survive, looking for food, and have to ration themselves as well as pay their taxes to Foundation, and including making sure that they don't go over their allotted amount of food and rations that they get from Foundation, right? Which in this case includes not having more than the amount of children that you have been told.
Which is one
for this couple. I don't know if it's one for every couple, but at least for this couple, one. Can only have one child. And this family has 2 children. One that we are introduced to, and one that is just a baby that they try and hide. Mm-hmm. We see them try and persuade Foundation to allow them to keep, but they say, nope, we're going to come back in a month and you're going to have one child. Yep. So basically you choose. Yeah. You figure it out. And they take matters in their own hands, and they, things happen. So that's where we're at. What do you think, Morgan? First of all, I will say, I looked it up. This kid is only credited as son. So there's no confirmation, but I think it's clear, Morgan, who we're supposed to think this is.
You're supposed to think it's the Mule.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, because honestly, if they didn't intend it or it's not the Mule, then get the fuck out of here. But casting is incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
The kid looks so much like him, and like not only like just like him, but like the way like his brow moves and stuff.
Yep.
It's like, holy cow, they did a good job. And if it's not him, why did you cast him?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's cool. I mean, we love learning backstory.
It almost made me wonder if like Pillow had a kid in the or nephew or something. I mean, I didn't really look into that. But the same way that for Harry Potter, they cast Ralph Fiennes' nephew, Ray Fiennes, nephew for young Voldemort, which is just such a fun casting. That's how good the casting was.
Yeah.
I do have doubts because we know that things can be deceiving, and not to jump ahead too far, but at the very end, we get a question from Harry Seldon that says, I wonder how much of it is true, this story. And so I think they want us to believe as an audience that this is the Mule. I think that's very clear. In fact, they kind of transitioned from him young to being older and him having been telling this story to Harry, having been saying it out loud that this is where I came from and this is why I'm here. And it's clear that it's supposed to be his story. But as we've been theorizing, we've been mentioning, we're also dealing with mentalics, and we're dealing with ideas and things put into your head, right? Yeah. So I think there can be some doubt thrown onto this. Not only does Harry do this, but I think there's an interesting thing. Even if it is him young, even if it is that character young, it might not be his story. Yeah, is what I'm guessing. Mm-hmm. So just something to think about. Just because we see in his head, we know he's an unreliable narrator. Yeah. So very interesting. Do you think it is Magnifico's, or do you think this is actually his? Because I think it could be both. Because I think it could be him before he met Magnifico. Yeah. But I also could think could be Magnifico's story, and it's just projecting it onto him.
Totally. Yeah. Absolutely possible. Yeah. The thought also crossed my mind that maybe the baby was Magnifico.
Yeah, I was always wondering, right?
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, they are both bald.
True.
But it is baby.
Yeah. But,
so
but he's like real bald.
Here's the thing that I noticed, Morgan. Last week after the pod, I said this off mic because it was only something that occurred to me after the fact. We've theorized now at this point that the Mule is not the Mule, that Magnifico is the Mule. And so in thinking about the episode, I've been thinking about Pillow as an actor. And when he originally shows up and he's doing this Mule character and there's an accent, and it's not an accent that I recall him having, say, in Game of Thrones. So I think this is a choice, right? This feels like a deliberate choice, to play this character. I don't know if it's his natural accent. It could be, so I was like, I didn't think twice about it. But one thing I did notice, Morgan, in this flashback, if this is the same kid, the same character, doesn't have the same accent. Yeah. Very English. The accent he has as an adult, unless it's some sort of piratey accent that I'm not aware of in the Foundation lore, does sound very similar to Magnifico. Yeah. Wouldn't you say?
I think so. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Which I do think leads more credence to the fact that Magnifico is controlling the Mule. Yeah. To me, that shows that this kid is actually like the Mule young, but later on when he's being controlled, like he's not, it's not the same, who really knows what the story is there. And I'm sure there's more people know from the books and stuff like that and whatever, but I think it's a small choice that only picked up on here. Could be nothing. Who knows? But I certainly don't. Yeah. But that might be the connection there, Totally. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see Magnifico at all.
Zero Magnifico.
But we will get to that because I feel like Magnifico's influence was there clearly, and some things that I kind of brushed off a little bit, but more has happened that I did not realize. What do we say about Foundation here? They're not great, Morgan.
Very not likable.
They're not. Doesn't seem like they're living up to the promise that they were set out to achieve, right?
I mean, at bare minimum, pretty hard to root for the team that's like, get rid of one of your children.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I guess we're preparing for some dark ages, and we're rationing. We're taking as much food and storing our warehouses as much as we can, these tractors, I don't know what else to call them, seem a little bit overkill for these tiny crops, but I don't know, man. The whole planet is filled with them, I guess.
Maybe it's the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And they get a lot bigger. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what to think about these Bartons or anything, because it's interesting how clearly two families have different sets of rules here. So, but yeah, Foundation is seemingly the bad guy in this scenario. And not only that, it seems that Harry and the Foundation has inadvertently created the problem that they are now fighting against.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Isn't that how it always happens?
Yeah. So a little disappointed in Foundation here. Granted, Harry does mention how much of this is true. So we only have a perspective. We don't really know. Maybe Foundation was being nice to this couple. Who knows? We're just seeing it from the retelling.
Right.
But at this retelling, it makes me understand now why the Mule's so mad.
Totally.
And why he's basically coming for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. Justifiably upset.
Yeah. And man, childhood trauma. Who knew? Could be such a motivator.
Turns out.
Your father almost drowning you to save your brother or sibling or whatever it is. That could bring out some latent powers that you didn't know existed. That could definitely, shape your adulthood. What did we learn about the Mule in this scene, do you think?
Man.
Besides the obviousness.
Yeah, drowning's a bad way to go.
Yeah.
As it were. I mean, yeah, that he, is from a poor family, a poorish family.
Mm-hmm.
That he has significant amounts of childhood trauma.
Mm-hmm.
That he is parentless by his own hand. And that he's got a big old grudge against Foundation. Justifiably so, if the story's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we also see where his desire for love comes from.
Yeah.
Morgan and I have abandonment issues. I'm sure most of us do.
We all do.
But I don't have this.
No. No, this is a lot.
I want to be loved and accepted. But I'll be honest.
Not that bad.
If this, I kind of understand the Mule.
Whoa.
I kind of get it. I'm like, yeah, dude. If this is the only way you knew how to get love, that makes sense. You still need help for sure. Yeah. But also, bro needs a hug, man.
Yeah, because he didn't get any love, right?
I mean, he for some reason, you would think that not only are you being told, he's older now, and he's being told by his parents essentially that they don't want him, that he's unlovable, right? That he's been alive and trying to contribute and he has ways to help and stuff, but he's a burden. He's a huge burden on them, that they would rather start over, I guess, with another child.
It's weird.
Than to that would screw me up.
Yeah. For real.
That doesn't lead. It would also explain why he maybe was so easily controlled, if this is his story, right? That Magnifico, we hear a lot about the love that the Mule gives to people and how good it feels, which is such a interesting thing. But I would assume that if this is actually coming from Magnifico, that no wonder he is so beholden to that, because it feels much better than the alternative.
Yeah.
For him, things are temporary. People take, and he's trying his best to give back as much as he can. He's just trying to, I'll be honest, he's accomplishing more for Foundation than Foundation like ever did, you know, by essentially saying like, hey, things need to change or else such and such. And he's like, cool, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
When he shows up later, he's like, I'm gonna be the first citizen, whatever this is.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, you know, it's about ruling in power, but also it's about destroying the cycle of oppression. And in a way, he's kind of doing it. I mean, we don't know what his regime would look like.
I have an idea.
Nor what it's going to be called, but seems like, you know, it's not, it makes sense is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
And we hear those words again, which was just a great little callback. I don't know if there's anything more to be said, but he used it a lot before. When his parents die, he causes them to drown. And he says, you want this for me. You love me more than anything.
More than
anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not a great way to go about getting that love, but that's all he wants. Definitely doesn't want to be drowned. Definitely doesn't want to be killed for Foundation's sake, you know, who took everything. Yeah, interesting stuff. In terms of childhood, Mule, bookending, you can say before and after, anything else?
I don't think so. I mean, you know, I love getting backstory. It's cool.
Sure. If it is his backstory. It's someone's backstory.
I would love to see Teenage Mule next, but yeah.
I love this coat this episode. I don't know if we've seen it on him before, but like he's the very, very red, piratey coats. Captain Hook at the end of the episode.
That's like one of the notes I have in all caps. Just the Mule looks fucking badass.
I'll be honest. We'll see at the end of the episode, but he is in the running for my crush of the episode. I'm telling you. We'll see.
Strong choice.
We'll see. How do we go about this? We can continue with the Mule.
Okay.
Since we're on him, right? The Mule has accomplished his... Oh, what a great transition, by the way, from the first flashback to like the ship leaving to then like going into the space battle. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. And we get a little bit of space battle. Not as much as I would have liked.
5 out of 10 swashbuckling. Don't forget.
You know? But, you know, we get it. We get some cool stuff. And he shows up on New Terminus and subjugates the people pretty easily.
Almost immediately.
I mean, well, you know, the mayor and the warden give up.
Yeah, they do.
They've already surrendered. Even though the soldiers around them are like,
what?
Didn't agree to this.
Yeah.
Why are we just letting this happen?
Wow.
Yes.
Just like, okay.
Great stuff. Great stuff there. Also, I'm afraid of this warden. I think I mentioned it slightly in the other weeks. I don't know what's going on. Or I at least had it in notes. I don't know what's going on between her and Han, but every time they look at each other, it's like something's happened here. Something bad. There's like, and now I'm like afraid of her getting to Han because it seems like she wanted to kill him already.
Exactly. It's like earlier we speculated that like, oh, she's actually there to help him and she's got this. I'm like, oh no. She's like,
I think I was speculating Stephanie was,
and she's
but
like,
not her.
She's not helpful at all, though.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about, so the warden is different from Stephanie.
Who's the warden?
So the warden is the one who shoots the soldier.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But she's just kind of been in the background, but it seems like she doesn't like Han, right? And now she's clearly under the control of the Mule.
The mayor certainly doesn't. The mayor probably would have killed Han 2 weeks ago, given the chance, but.
Sure. No, the mayor has no backbone. I don't think he would have. But
Yeah, well, he's not. He's not.
well,
long for
whatever's
this
been
world.
going on here, the warden does not like Han, and now even more so, she's a fucking chaos demon. Who knows where she sides? Like it never, not even clear how much of Foundation she was in support of, but now she's clearly not.
Yeah.
So the Mule again mentions, I'm going to be the first citizen of this thing. This is the beginning of his new regime. And he, asked for suggestions. Do you have any suggestions for what his regime should be called?
For sure. The barn.
The bard?
Barn? Like where animals like mules live?
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Any other thoughts? I don't think I actually came up with anything.
Maybe like new terminus?
new terminus. New terminus.
Yeah.
The third foundation.
Yeah. That's a little spookier.
What happens when you replace a foundation? Doesn't seem like they got very high in the building process.
No.
They were still just a foundation, right?
You got to build from the bottom up.
Yeah. Well, let's see. They go to find Han. This is where we kind of intercut a little bit of some characters.
I got questions about this sequence.
Sure. Yeah. What are the questions?
Why does Han cannibalize himself?
I mean, he had no way of hurting himself and getting medical attention, which was, I guess, the easiest way to do that. I don't know. Seems like if he has the ability to, project an image to 4 people in the room, that would just be the start.
Yeah.
Unless maybe this is the image that he projected.
Maybe.
Because that wound is also doesn't seem to be bothering him anymore after the fact. So it's really weird. It's really weirdly intercut after.
It's just crazy. He's just all of a sudden he's just like,
yeah, which is fine and all. Like I get it. It's like, hey, pretty hardcore, Han. That's some pretty tough shit, man.
Yeah.
I would not.
You wouldn't chew your own forearm off.
Doesn't seem like the best thing for a mentalic to do, especially when you show that you have a different power. Could have just pretended to be anyone else. This guy didn't know you had the power, so for sure the soldier would have been like, "What are you doing in there?" and come and been confused, right?
Yeah.
And then also, how are you going to deal with it? How are you going to address this thing? Because you don't seek medical attention. And it seems like it's bleeding pretty badly.
He's going to need stitches.
Right.
Or he's going to bleed
some
out.
damage. You do real damage to yourself, right? If the idea was like to show like, hey, I really, really need help right now. It's like you still need help. This is not a good start to the plan.
Yeah, he sold it a little too hard, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, get me out of here because I'm dying. It's like, you're fucking dying.
That said, we don't know where he goes, and I have no idea if the wound is still there. And so
we know where he went. He just went around the corner.
That's what I'm saying. It's like we never see him after that, though, right?
Yeah.
So it's
he's just hiding behind the door.
Well, no, he was there. No, he was there. He left the room and then he went to shoot. The plan doesn't go great. Yeah. He tries to shoot and didn't think about what does he call himself? He's a security guy. He's like the main I don't know, master of whisperers here. That really he made the security. Did he not? Did he not mention this before?
Yeah.
He's like really good at hacking and stuff and whatever. He's like, no, I installed these things, and you didn't know that the gun had a fingerprint device. Also, this is a joke, but this is the future the liberals want. They're trying to take control of your guns. They're trying to put things where only you can shoot it on your thing. And listen, if the liberals didn't have their way, he would have been able to just shoot the gun.
And that's Foundation, everybody.
That's a joke. # sarcasm.
Yeah. Or the mule knows how to get in the gun's head.
Damn it, Morgan. I think you're on to something.
Episode 7, we learn the full scope of his powers.
It's
Huh? I mean, why are all the ships firing on each other?
I would have preferred Jailbreak. I would have preferred Gale or even Stephanie trying to help Han out.
I'm kind of glad we got a Gale break.
This feels like, hey, we got a... Did you say Gale break?
Yeah.
And yeah, not the best plan. Very interesting. Hardcore Han, but I don't know what you're going to do about that. Like, again, could have been, I guess, the vision. I guess it could have been part of it. Like he was psyching himself up as like, oh, what power is he going to use? He's going to use this. He's finally going to do something. You know, it's like, I don't know what his metallic power is. And it's
misfiring guns.
A great power. Again, very warlocky if we're still in our D&D class. Like he kind of finds a way to like change places with someone. Like, and make them think, you know, almost kills a mule. And so, yeah, good ideas there. Not very well thought through, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'll also say almost kills the mule is generous. He made an attempt at the mule's life. I don't know if it was almost. Felt pretty far from it.
Yeah. Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. And if only he had a hand grenade.
Would have been better than the fucking jammed pistol that won't fire for him.
Yeah. So Han fucks off. And the mule is well, okay, we'll get him soon because he's
a mule.
He's going down there, you know. He doesn't let things bother him, you know. It's like water off a duck's back,
as he might say. Some things are preordained.
He would say that.
Doesn't need to worry about it.
He said it a few amount of times.
Yeah,
right. Isn't that what he says when they learn that they have Han Pritchard? Yeah. It's weird because Inber's like, hey, I have a guy. And it's not Magnifico. It's Han Pritchard.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's because the people who are under the control know who the mule is. So they don't. Interesting to me.
I don't know.
We don't know where Magnifico is, but you think that would be the thing that he wants.
Yeah.
We're getting there. We are kind of there, actually. Let's just talk about it.
What you got?
Speaking of Magnifico and Inber and the Warden and Han, actually, maybe we aren't there. Nope, this is a good time.
Okay. I'm on the edge of my seat.
The music, we said, was like not... We couldn't tell, right, how it works. And as we speculated before, we can see that it's working. We did get to see last week how effective it is, but we didn't really understand it. Yeah. And one thing we'll note is all the people in the room that have been affected by the music are the ones that are now turned. Inber did mention last week, all my battle commanders or whatever would listen to this music. You know, it's something like that.
Yeah.
Right. And those are the ones that gave the orders to fire upon their own ships.
Yeah.
These are the ones that are clearly turned. So the music did really, really help.
Yeah.
In ways that we are only now seeing here.
Yeah. There's just like a timeline thing where it's like, they're not actively listening to the music. It's like they've been incepted by it or something like that.
Yeah.
Because like the only thing I have to say about this idea is because like I agree. It's like, yeah, these are the people that listen. Is that like Toran heard the music?
That's why I was going to say maybe it's too early to talk about it because Toran's the only one.
Heard the music.
Well, Beta's knocked out right now.
But she heard it.
Yes.
Right. Previously.
Yeah.
And the two of them haven't really been affected in the same way that we're seeing all these other folks.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It depends on where the mule has been too. And if I have noted that Toran has not been affected.
Yeah.
Beta, we don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe she was already being affected because that was my thought this whole time. It was like her being on Magnifico's side is possibly the thing that why she was so defensive of him, why she like really took care of him and stuff was because she was so affected. And then whatever happened with that null field is why she's been knocked out. Is my speculation there is that her brain was already kind of fried, so to speak, that really took a toll on her, right? Toran not being as affected at this point is very interesting. And I wonder what that says.
Yeah.
But it does seem like everyone else who was in that room has fully changed and gone over to the Mule side, at least since he showed up. I'm assuming the Mule did still do that, to still compel them to, but the music definitely helped to persuade them, to get them halfway there.
So
you
it
know?
would seem, yeah.
So it's very, we were like, oh, it doesn't seem like they need the music to do this, but we don't know when Magnifico shows up to these things, right? We don't know when Magnifico showed up to Calgon, you know, and might have been there first, you know. Sure, Magnifico goes to battle with the Mule, which we haven't seen, but that was said. But maybe he just shows up before.
Yeah.
He's just a clown. He's just a guy, very unassuming. And yeah, he did exactly what was expected. We now know that to me, it seems clear, like all the people in that room, except for one, maybe two, were influenced by the music, and which is how Foundation has gone down the way it has.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I wonder why Toran is not affected. That says something about him, which I really like.
Yeah. I mean,
but
he's still on the good guys side.
yeah. But we'll see. I hope Beta's okay, but we'll get there. The Mule he takes over Inber's office. He goes to the bathroom, I guess, and uses a cool sink and has Inber. He's very disappointed, he says. And we need to pull on the bridle. I don't know for who. I'm assuming for the Warden and Stephanie, you know, to show them. It's the same way that he's, you know, created fear in other people before by taking out others, you know. And he has Inber drown himself. Yeah, sad way to go.
Big bummer.
Very terrible way to go. I mean, we didn't like Inber.
I was about to say he can get it though.
We didn't like Inber, but I don't know that anyone deserves that.
Probably not.
But yeah, the way that he uses his powers is so fascinating and so disturbing that like these people just do it. They happily do it. And it's so, it's like, yeah, that would be terrible. I would hate myself. And it feels like there's a little bit of Inbird trying to fight against it. Obviously it's not strong enough. But again, I'll notice that the last time the Mule was, you know, getting to this point, like with Toran, he never got there. Right? When he was talking about like how happy you'll be to take your skin off for me or whatever. And Toran was able to resist enough to get away.
He's got too much riz.
Yeah. And they were in the room where the music was too at that point. Something's up with Toran and Beta for sure, but
maybe they don't understand music.
Maybe he's been deaf the whole time. We didn't know.
Yeah. Maybe you just can't hear it.
Yes. Super interesting. He goes down and talks to Harry, and that's a fun thing, you know. So anything else with the Mule? I mean, it's pretty quick. Again, not very many scenes, but we've got a lot. Most of it's the backstory.
They spliced it up all over the episode, though. I agree. But no, I don't have anything else to say about the Mule, I don't think.
Meanwhile, Day still down in Mycogen, and
he's about to get really fucked up.
He's gonna go on a journey, so to speak. But he's gone some new revelations, and he goes through a dream sequence, a drug trip, and then someone shows up to say hello, you know, all in an effort to figure out, is he being truthful? Is he here for the way he says he is, right? Yeah. We're just trying to get to the truth, you know?
Mushroom tea as truth serum.
Morgan, this episode is like about an hour long.
Yeah.
And I feel like a good half of that was just them preparing this fucking tea.
Hey, dude.
They took a long time
That's
to
some
figure this
gnarly
out.
ass red mushroom tea.
As much as like I'm okay with us getting as much Lee pace as we can, right?
Yes.
I'm definitely okay with the dream sequence or whatever. This is where the pacing thing kind of pissed me off.
Okay.
Because I was like, too long, way too long on like getting the tea, preparing the tea, pouring the tea,
You just want
giving
the
him
tea.
the tea. I was like, what are we doing here? You know, we get it. You're going to give him tea. He's going to go through a drug trip. Like, we get it. You know, felt way too self-aggrandizing for me. This episode could have been shorter.
Yeah.
Cool stuff, I guess. But it's like I want more from Day's thing, and we're not moving.
They're taking
We're
their
not
time
moving
with that.
fast enough,
Yeah,
you
no, they're
know?
taking their time with that plot
In
line.
this episode, but yep, here we are. Seems pretty chill
Yeah.
to have learned that, you know, his lover actually has a wife or life mate, and it's not him. And he's like, oh, okay, cool.
But they're also like not hostile anymore.
Yeah.
They're not mean or upset. They're now they're like, they seem kind of agreeable and very intrigued by his promise of a robot. But
Yeah. Unfortunately, Morgan, we were absolutely wrong. We read into the signs a little bit too much.
did we?
Yeah,
we did.
They're not robots.
But they give themselves number names.
They
which is
do
fucking
give
weird.
themselves number names. And it's a good time to read this comment that I got from someone named, well, on TikTok, he's named Malcolm Reynolds.
Okay.
Which is a Firefly reference, even though his avatar, I'm pretty sure their avatar, I don't even know if it's he, their avatar is Jane Cobb. So
Okay.
mixing of things going on here, I will just say, but clearly a Firefly fan. Apparently this comes from the books. These people were kind of like Amish people, but worshipped robots, which we already knew. They abhorred hair of any type. Different in the books, apparently.
Yeah.
But,
they
you
all
know,
got hair here.
The numbers in the names were just reflected which order they were born. The only link to Empire / Trantor was a small amount of feed trade, which helped them stay isolated from everyone.
Okay.
So yeah, this is just how they named themselves, which we did say was a possibility, but I think it's really weird to end the scene and episode on like, oh, we have numbers in our names, and what are we? You know, like that seems like something you should be more clear about. If you
I
didn't.
was misled. I feel misled.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No, my letter is already in the mail.
Yeah, it's strongly worded.
To Apple TV. So not robots. A little disappointed. I guess clones are not out of the realm of possibility, but someone else maybe mentioned, this isn't confirmed. This is where, again, I haven't read the books. I'm trying not to spoil any future things. Obviously, if people do come in and comment stuff, I don't like it. But obviously, things that we have seen, I like knowing these differences, right? But someone did mention that maybe this is how, like, in the name of their line, you know, Songbird is 17. The previous, her mother would have been Songbird 16 and back, you know? So that might be how they do it. It could still be clone-ish, you know? So we talked about, you know, there's a possibility. Could be different way of cloning, you know? I'm sure that you could be like, maybe we impregnating people, you know, kind of thing would be interesting in terms of with the clone, you know? So someone else has a version of you, right? But who knows, right? It's because they do mention like this is the most important thing that could have happened to us like since 5,000 years ago, which is when the robot wars ended in the timeline. And apparently 1,000 years ago was when they stole the tools, you know?
Yeah.
So these guys have been around for a long time, and seemingly these people know their history very, very well.
Yeah.
And is it because they're from that history, or is it because they just are really good at retaining information, you know?
Just nerds.
Yep. Probably. I still don't know why Song was there. If I guess maybe she was just a concubine and didn't realize she was gonna stay. Maybe she did fear
They
Day.
give her like a weird line or two where she says something like, "Why did I think I could go up into this filth and like come
the
back
cesspool,
unscathed, or
Clean,
something?"
yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. Why did you think that?
Yeah, so I'm still curious. I guess none of our speculation is really coming true here, but it's still a question of what is going on.
I generally agree. I did have one question or thought because like during Day's mushroom trip,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff with Demerzel, which I mean to be expected, right? Because the whole point of the trip is for the mushroom cult to assess whether he's being honest or not about Demerzel's existence as a robot. But did you notice there's like the red vat that has like the tea like liquid in it?
Yeah.
And there's that one shot where there's like an embryo or like a fetus in it.
Yeah.
And like two obvious possible. I mean, there are many possible things, but the two obvious like allusions I'm seeing there is like one, Day's seeing like a younger version of himself being grown in like the tubes that Cleons are grown in.
Yeah.
But the other one was, I was like, potentially like his child or something like that.
Yeah.
If Song was pregnant or still, or if he was going to get Song pregnant or something.
Yeah. I think there is a lot to be said there of like what he wants, right? Yeah. Whether for himself or maybe his future self.
Yeah.
And we can get into the dream sequence and what it means, right? Because there's probably a whole lot there, right? Things that he's struggling with, But yeah, it's. I think it's definitely is like still a possibility that pregnancy is kind of there, if not, it's definitely not already pregnant, I think. But if there's something to be said about maybe possibly him wanting to break the line of dynasty, but also birth someone as opposed to just being like in a vat, that's clearly like what's going on here.
For sure.
There's something about what he wants. So I think embryo, pregnancy, future child is all definitely possible. I will say the things that like bother me about the whole drug thing is the way that they go about it. Like Ocean Glass says, there's only one way we can find out. I was like, no, it's not true. Yeah. I think they mentioned like songbirds, like, you want us to believe you. This is how we'll believe you. He has your memories. There's another way.
Yeah.
It was so much easier. I mean, granted, we don't get this cool dream sequence and really insight into Day's mind, but like, I was like, there literally is another way that he presented to you, not under duress at all, and would have been easily confirmed literally everything. I mean,
even beyond that, right? There's a world where like
they don't even get their questions answered through it. They're not even sure.
But you can also it's like if Song is really like, no, I don't want to know any of that.
Yeah.
Just give it to someone else. Right? The whole implication is that you can just plug it into anyone.
Can you plug it into a computer or something? Right? Can you see what the memories are?
You for sure can, right? Because
I don't know.
No, we do know. We've already established in previous episodes that Demerzel checks other people's memories.
Yeah.
And learns what they know.
Yeah.
Right? Like you for sure can.
Sure.
Also,
but Demerzel's a robot, though, so I don't know if a regular person can.
I mean, I guess if you can give someone back their memories, why couldn't you also give them the memories to another person?
He has to be able to like know how to find them and look at them and do. Obviously, it's like Empire technology. Like the memory erasing thing is clearly like specific to Empire and how they use it, right? So I would understand where Ocean Glass is like, we don't know what this is. I was like, yeah, true, you don't, because you haven't encountered this, right? But it literally just looks like a USB stick or something that like I didn't really get a good look at it. It doesn't seem that dangerous. Like why he's been, I don't know. It's clunky. Yeah. Is all I'm going to say.
Also, I mean, like nobody in Mycogen has a lie detector.
This doesn't really accomplish what they were trying to do either, because Sunmaster has to come in anyway, and they're going to get the information in a different way. It seems like
maybe a spooky
and
way.
Also he like proves he's like, oh no, this is one of our tools. I don't know why he brought it here, but like it's still it still like, shows it like,
he remembers
hey,
the hand gesture and like
it just feels like it was the dialogue just was unnecessary, I guess, at best, to be as hyperbolic. I was like, there's no other way. I was like, he literally gave you the way that you could avoid going through any of this trouble, but whatever. I guess I'll forgive it. He goes on his little dream sequence, peyote trip, as was mentioned before. It's spores, of course. The spores, always.
Yeah.
The mushroom. You will never escape.
These ones are more fun than the last ones we talked about, though.
They said it was more. They did say it was stronger, but then they also said like a child can drink a pint of this, and like, what are you freaking out about?
One of their kids. I mean, they're like raised on the sauce.
Well, here's the thing: is she telling the truth, or is Day really, or is it just all like hallucination, right? And if she's telling the truth, is Day, because of his genetics, having a problem with this?
I don't know.
At first, I thought when he was doing this and I was just hearing the young Cleon, I was like, is he having a memory of the first Cleon?
Whoa.
I think it is his memory. I don't think it is the first Cleon's memory, but that's where I thought something really trippy was going on with the way that this is interacting with his system.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is going to go back, but it's not, but yeah, maybe something in his genetic code is causing some real problems. He's having a bad trip, I just have a huge kind of longish paragraph here that I'm just going to read verbatim.
Here we go.
Because it's really, when it comes to dream sequences, to me, it's just kind of all over the place. Not sure how I feel about it.
Okay.
Some fun imagery, some, cool things. I guess I'm just not a big fan of like drug trips that are basically telling us the same thing that we already know,
well, it's not for us. It's for them.
It's for him, right? Yeah. But here's what I wrote down in terms of like the surface level, what I can glean from this trip.
Yeah.
Right. So he's naked, he's vulnerable, he's avoiding the throne, but he can't escape it. He is close to ascension, but he could care less about telling the story of the genetic dynasty. So when he's in front of that wall, he doesn't want to be Dusk. Like he would ascend to Dusk and like tell the story of the genetic dynasty. Doesn't seem to want to do that either. He wants to be born, which is, I guess in this context, to be human, to have one life. It's clear that he's shown to be imperfect, maybe the most imperfect from an early age, imperfect Cleon.
Yeah.
He's the one that screws up often. And so that would explain again, childhood trauma, has led him to be the way he is. He hates Demerzel not because she's a robot, but because of what she represents to him. He hates her directive as much as she seemingly doesn't like her directive. Perhaps he even tried to free her because freeing her meant freeing himself. I think he also sees a bit of the future. If they were gone, she would have no choice but to stay there and just rot on this directive. This is the possible future of like what that would mean without Empire.
Yeah.
And I don't think he likes that, but also she would kill you before she would be free, right? Or that's what he says. Like she would kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Just, yeah. So these are like the things that I'm gleaning on, right? That clearly the hate for Demerzel is coming from a different place. It's not just as simple as being a robot. We see how the past and the present and the future has affected him, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
That he wasn't always this disillusioned that he tried. but this idea of being free and escaping the Cleonic dynasty has been on his mind for a long time, but he just never could. And the reason he never could was because Demerzel,
Yeah.
you know? And he kind of gave up on that a long time ago and just put his hatred towards the first Cleon, the genetic dynasty, onto her because that's what she represented. But I think he also still loves her. I think he understands where she's from. Like he understands that she can't be free. And so he kind of gave up on that idea. And I think if he could have, he would have tried to. He said, can I order you to not? And then also, would you still love me? And she just says, like, I can't weigh love versus freedom. He says, because freedom would win.
Yeah.
And he realizes that, which is an interesting concept.
Yeah.
You know? And I do kind of understand that. Yeah. Like love is captivity at times. Love is, in what did I write down? Like captivating. It is a prison of sorts.
Yeah.
You know? So that does make some sort of sense.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, what do you think of all this whole dream thing, this whole journey for Day?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's shot cool.
Mm-hmm.
I agree that like I don't think we learn too much new stuff. Like it's like for me, it just clarifies that he doesn't again hate Demerzel because she's a robot.
Yeah.
He hates her because she's the one who forces him to continue being Cleon instead of just whoever he wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think the most interesting and maybe ominous thing is that there's like the flashback when he's like, I mean, I guess he's Dawn at the time,
yes.
or he looks like younger even than Cassian.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the conversation about freedom and love, which is super cool. But I think this is also where he's like, what would you do without the directive?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, what would you want? And Demerzel's like, I don't know. I guess I would go and make a bunch of robots.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, holy shit, that's fucking creepy.
Mm-hmm.
That's super ominous. That would scare the shit out of me. If this like super fucking powerful android robot, whatever, was like, oh, if I wasn't bound by this directive, I'd make a robot army. Like, oh my God, dude.
Maybe not an army, but you're saying that understandably, that's probably what he thought.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why he maybe didn't try and free her, or maybe gave up on that idea.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like she can't be freed too, unless someone is like literally like capable of programming or something.
Yeah. At this point, like, what do we think it would take? Because I think the thing that we kind of dance around is like, can she ever be free? And the thing that he doesn't say when they're like, can we free her? They ask him in his little stupor, like, how do we do it? How do we free her? And he's like, she would kill you.
Yeah.
But also like the only way possibly at this point to maybe free her would be to kill the dynasty.
Yeah.
Because if the directive is a dynasty, this is all the thing that she's been struggling with this whole time, as we see in the first episode. And it seems that, interestingly, I understand her love for this Day, because it almost seems like it's this Day that has given her that idea.
Yeah.
Not only in that he's been imperfect, and so she realizes how much drift we've had in the Cleonic dynasty, that they're no longer the same. And so that her directive might be coming to an end at some point, whether she likes it or not, but also that in his imperfection, he would ask her these questions and maybe get her to think about it, to weigh these options that she hasn't done before because she hasn't had to. And so that's interesting. And I love that idea of why she feels so strongly for this Day and clearly has not enjoyed the way that he's treated her, and he's not taken it the same way. And why we keep getting that question of like, why do you have so much hatred for me? Which is obviously not her. That's how he, but in that sense, like, I know that that's why in this vision, I was like, okay, I know he doesn't hate her if he's struggling so much with this.
Yeah.
Right? That he feels guilt for that as well. You know? And especially because she has probably shown so much love to him. But yeah, if it wasn't for this Day and Demerzel combo, would she even be thinking about, you know, what the future might be, you know?
Yeah.
But I do think that there's kind of a Ghost of Christmas past and present and future thing kind of going on here, because when we get to him looking at Demerzel just sitting there in front of what essentially is like a mirror or like a portal, but also looks like what would be the front of the glass of like the Cleon model, the first Cleon body or whatever that thing is, right? You know, it's essentially shows her like dusty, like having been sitting there for years.
She looks old and like not like aged, but like unclean, like it's like she's been sitting in a closet for a long time or something.
Which tells me that like even if Empire dies, that's her future. That would become with the directive until you find a way to rewrite the directive. That's what it becomes. That she loves Cleon so much that she can't even leave his side. That's it. That would be her purgatory, so to speak, would just be to sit there and do that, which sucks. And the fact that Day sees that means that he understands, and we understand too, that it's not as simple as the dynasty dying. Something else has to happen. Yeah. And maybe now he might pursue that. Maybe now, after having done this dream, and because we often wonder, like, how does a Day lead this rebellion? How does he go against he clearly hates the robot. In the past, we've talked about that. I'm like, I don't think that's, for me, the case anymore. I don't think he hates her. And I think he wants to find a way to free her. And I think, that's where
in freeing her, he frees himself.
Yes, that exactly. Yeah. In freeing her, he frees himself. That's the only way out of this.
Well, I mean, if that's the case too, then Mycogen's certainly the place he wants to be.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
because I mean, not only are they going to know how to do it, right, or potentially, but also like they don't want Demerzel to perpetuate Empire. They want Demerzel to be, Uber Queen or whatever.
Correct. They want some things. I will say, all of that said, great place, yes, for him to be, but Sunmaster doesn't seem like the greatest guy.
You don't trust him?
Even Song doesn't seem to trust him.
No, she doesn't.
The way that she looks at when Sunmaster comes in and it's scared. Just him. Yeah, she is worried for this person that she was just saying, like, we got to like get rid of. He can't be here, and now she's worried, now she's wishing she had taken the memories, I think. But yeah, this new guy comes in, and I'm alluded to this at the beginning of the episode. Sunmaster 18. The parallels here. Leader, but not a leader because of the way he's like, what does he say? No one is allowed to glory over another, except for this thing that I have, the skull of a robot. This is our glory. Says the guy that is clearly glorying over others.
Yeah.
Hypocrite much?
Yeah.
Very Empire Foundation-esque at this point.
Yeah.
You can't. No, I don't believe you. You can't say the thing when you're clearly like you're carrying a staff. Like, what are you?
He's got some big ass gold necklace.
Now there is like this priest-ish thing kind of going on here, maybe she's just a vessel of some sorts, the Pope, I guess, of the robot kind.
Servants who don't pay taxes.
But his name is Sunmaster 18. If this is really like a lineage thing, is it a title or is it that it's born over and over again? Like what are we what are we supposed to believe? I don't know. Well, again, clones are still not out of the question, I guess. But
I don't think it's clones though, but it could be. But yeah.
Any thoughts on this Sunmaster guy? I mean, I love the design. To be fair, design's pretty cool.
Looks cool and stuff. I mean, like he's creepy and seems ominous. There's a little bit of mustache twirling here in a way that I'm like, all right. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised that, like you're saying, we waited this long to learn about him and whatnot. I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll get more than 10 episodes, but I'm like, what's going to happen down here?
Yeah, especially if they've been down here for like 1,000 years, just kind of rebuilding and doing whatever. Like, what has Empire been avoiding? Do you think that this would have been something that the first Cleon would have been like, we should keep tabs on what's going on down here? He's like, oh yeah, I killed them all.
Okay.
But come on.
My big thought after all the day stuff, and I know it sounds like I'm providing a more big picture thing, but I think it is directly related to the Sunmaster specifically. Is I couldn't help but think of the moment from like 2 episodes ago when Demerzel is just like, Day, yeah, he won't be bothering us anymore. And I'm like, really? Because these people seem very dangerous, very powerful, and super connected, and also like potentially interested in the demise of everything you stand for, Demerzel. So I don't know. I don't know how to rectify that.
Well, I don't know what she stands for because some people are under the assumption that this is what she wants, right? Is for robots to come back or whatever. But that's clearly not what she wants. Like, even if, like we saw, like in this vision, like even if the dynasty were to die, she would just sit there. Yeah. That the directive really does take her captive. The idea of bringing back robots or an uprising or whatever never crosses her mind. Right. So because she can't think about it. It's an impossibility. It's not in her programming. Yeah. You would have to rewrite the programming. The way that I took her saying, like, we're not going to see him again is because he's as good as dead. Like, she knows that
I thought she said that he's not going to bother us anymore.
I think the word specifically is we will not be seeing him again.
Yeah. Because I'm like, I agree that she can't think about a robot uprising.
Yeah.
But I think that everyone who lives in Mycogen wants a robot
uprising.
Oh,
no, absolutely. I think they do.
And that means that she fundamentally needs to consider what happens if Day goes down there.
I think that she knows where these tools came from, and she knows what Cleon the First did. And if this inheritance still exists, as she found out, she knows if Day goes down there and that's where he's headed, he's not coming back because they're not going to like him, that he's as good as dead. That's how I took that.
They're going to give him too much mushroom tea.
And obviously that's possibly not, I think we will see him again. She will see him again. And I think that's clear. And she has underestimated exactly what's going on down here. The same way Cleon did, all those kinds of things, right? Okay. I don't think she knows what is going on with Sunmaster. If she did, I think she would have taken steps to snuff it out. Because if it is a danger to the dynasty, essentially, she would have put eyes on it. In my estimation, for all I know. I don't think there's any knowledge of her knowing it, because if she did, that would be, I don't think she can do that, again, as a robot. I just don't think she can think about any sort of uprising or whatever. And,
I think I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. Well, I guess we'll see. Like you said, Sunmaster, we got 3 episodes, so it feels like we're going to introduce some things and it'll just be more of like setup for season 4. So I'm kind of not holding out hope to get many answers when it comes to Sunmaster and this group or whatever. I do assume that we're going to get some sort of scenes of Day meeting the rest of them and seeing like what's going on and whatever. I have expected that staff's like eyes to light up or something. Whereas like they were able to like at least
Like Jafar.
yeah, they clearly have like parts of a robot. And if they do, could they not? Are they trying to piece together one? And
How hard could it
what's
be?
stopping them?
How hard is it to actually build a robot?
That's the question of like, what is it? The AI portion of it, you know, what are they struggling with here? You know,
Or do they already have a robot secretly?
I don't know. It's like we've already been talking about like, are they partly robot or something? But I don't know. Like it's super unclear. I'm sure we'll get those answers, but probably not enough before the end of the season. Again, it's it's all a time loop anyway. So we're just gonna.
I forgot.
We're gonna reset.
We're gonna
reset. Yeah. Which name, by the way, do you think was better, Demerzel, Cheater, Edo, or Daniil?
Probably Demerzel, actually.
She's had a lot of lives, man. Servant, household,
Warrior,
prisoner. Oh no.
That's the contemporary one.
Oh, the naivety of young Day to be like, oh, when were you a prisoner? She doesn't answer. Oh man. Okay.
Good question. Time for lunch.
Hey Dusk, what have you been up to?
He's living his best life. He's finding romance just before the end.
Oh my lord. Oh my god.
I'm happy for the old man.
I will be completely honest. I'm just gonna jump ahead with my thoughts real quick.
Do it.
Dusk was so in the running for crush of the episode. I was so there.
I know.
Until
Yeah,
he does the thing at the end.
He does one little thing to remind you, oh, this guy that's kind of been likable, and you're like, maybe has a human and sensitive side, and is like using his last days to maybe like find something meaningful with a woman that he's been friends with and also maybe had very real feelings for.
Yeah.
For decades.
Yeah.
He's also a Cleon.
I think Dusk is losing his goddamn mind.
Whoa.
Not that surprising, but
okay.
I don't even know if there was a camel in the room. He's clearly going through some things. It's almost dementia-like where he's kind of reliving these like glory days and
wait a minute.
Yeah.
The camel comment you just made.
Yep.
There's a shot where you can see nails. Are you saying that we are seeing something that's a figment of his imagination, or did you not see that?
No, I saw the camel.
Because there's like I think there's also a giraffe or something at some point.
No, not in this episode.
No? Okay.
Not I'm aware of.
But you think that he's like imagining this
I think
shit.
he is losing his mind.
Wow.
I think he is, as evidenced by the end where he steps on this ferret.
Kills it.
He's
too.
just
like,
he's in very different modes right now. With him in charge, you mentioned the King Lear thing, right? And was King Lear not a mad king?
Yeah, he kind of lost it a little.
Then you're absolutely correct, Morgan.
Yeah.
He's clearly on something else. Something is going on here. I don't know if it's dementia-like or whatever it is, but I don't like the direction it's going, because at first it is very cool. This star-crossed lover, this like Romeo and Juliet, this forbidden romance.
Yeah.
Was so great. I loved it. I was ready to talk so much about this and like what Dusk wants and all these things. And now I feel like he is spiraling.
Yeah.
At the end of this episode, like when you go back and rewatch this episode, knowing how it ends with him,
yeah,
I no longer see this like loving Dusk. I see a Dusk that is dismissive of the problems, that's literally could be doing anything else, but decides, no, I'm going to be selfish and go get Cherry Jones, Quent, to protect her and whatever. And it seems like he cares for her, but it's really like not.
He just
there.
wants to get laid.
There's something else going on there where he's just like, he's essentially, I do feel like I hate to bring up other nerd things, but the only thing I can really compare it to is that Mad King of Aerys on Game of Thrones.
Like Targaryen.
Right? Yeah. The Mad King Aerys, like as we saw him going, like he was having visions, he was struggling so much. We don't know too much show wise. I don't really know much from the books. But was so far gone that he was believing certain things about the people around him and what was actually happening that he was like making up his own narrative, so to speak. Right. And I feel like Dusk is heading that direction. He's like, he even listens to when that scene happens with them at the dinner table and Quint talks about the tragedy that's happening on New Terminus. And there's this moment where like the first time you watch it, he's like, hey, just eat, I care for you or whatever. Yeah. Second time I watch it, so dismissive, doesn't care at all. It's like he wasn't even listening. He's like, just eat your food. He doesn't really care about her at all. What's going on in Foundation. And the guy who's ignoring the things that are happening doesn't bode well for the Empire or whatever else is happening here. He's caring only about himself, what he can do for himself before his ascension. He really could care less. I thought like I was thinking like, oh, this whole love thing or whatever, maybe he's going to regret building this gun, all this kind of stuff. I'm like, no, not at all. Yeah. And then also whatever it is about Day that he has disdain for, that he would kill that ferret, whatever disdain he has for this genetic dynasty, for his own ascension, for any of these things. I think he's so tired of it. He's so far gone. I don't trust him. And I really am worried about Quint.
Yeah, she's in trouble. I think that I see what you're saying for sure. It hadn't occurred to me as strongly as you're suggesting, but to play devil's advocate, right? There's a moment where Quint is like, well, where are your brothers? And he's kind of like, they gone and dead. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But also like,
yeah, she has empathy.
Yeah. And she's also like, but your ascension soon. Surely this changes that.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like, nah. And I'm like, wait, no, why does that not get him riled up? Is it like because he's like just fully like in fuck it mode? Or does he have a plan where he's like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to blow some planets up or kill Demerzel. I don't know. But it was weird to me because I was just like, I think Quinn is making a really good point. That's like, you're needed right now. You're very necessary. No one's here to call the shots.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like,
yeah, the thing is like, it's like he goes back and forth between like two different worlds that he's like living in right now, which is where I'm like, he's losing it. Right. Mm. In one way he describes like, oh, this was a gallows walk. He sees like he's on the, the Green Mile, right? The death sentence, that he is just waiting for his execution, essentially, and she's made it better. Right. And there are times where you're like, you can tell that he's probably not wanting to do that.
Yeah.
But he has given in. He knows that it's impossible. It's weird how he fluctuates back and forth between adhering to Empire and then going against it. But I do think that there's a lot of like disturbing things about his behavior here that just makes me feel like it's not quite one way or the other, and that the struggle is kind of happening and that he's basically losing it. I don't know that we would want him to be in power because he's going to make probably terrible decisions maybe for him, maybe for whatever, or based on what his own capacity is. I don't think he cares about his brothers being gone. Yeah, I think he would maybe think about, he's clearly going to make the decisions while he's there. They still call him Empire, but he also seems to just do as little as he needs to before going and, doing whatever he wants.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot. I don't know. There's a lot going on with him. It's all pretty mental though. It's all pretty like inside, and I'm not exactly sure like where he falls on anything. But I'm not seeing a guy with all his mental capacities. Does that make sense?
I think
I'm
so.
not seeing a guy that's like fully aware of like even what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like he jumps back and forth between who he is. It's almost like he forgets too that he's Dusk at times, that he might still sometimes see himself as Day. You know, if he keeps losing his mind that way, that could be potentially like a problem.
Dusk not knowing his dusk. A whole new spin on sundowning.
I mean, that's it, right? You know, so yeah, that's just how I gathered. I am curious if you did gather more things, but I guess it's mostly my second time watching where I was just like, oh yeah,
I
is not fun.
I mean, look, I only watched it once and I didn't pick up on it as strongly, but for me, the stepping on the ferret was either like just a writer's room way of being like, hey, you think he's settling down and like owning the last days of his life? No, he's still Cleon and he's going to try something drastic, or he's got a plan. That's what I thought that meant. I
think it could still possibly be true, but what that is though,
I have no idea what it is. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I guess, man, the other thing, right, is like if I'm reading into it, like for the sake of like, okay, we're on a podcast talking about it. Is it supposed to be like alluding to something more specific? Like Dusk is going to find a way to actually kill Day, right? Like is he somehow in with what's his face in Mycogen's Sunmaster or whatever? Or like is like, this is...
Oh, I don't think so.
This is Dusk's way though. Like he's going to snuff out Day.
I mean, yeah, for sure. There's a possibility there that the how he feels about this ferret is how he feels internally about Day. I think that could be true. And yeah.
But I mean, not just that he feels this way. I mean, is it foreshadowing?
No, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that they would be fighting each other makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Especially if he is losing his mind to the point where he feels like I am Empire.
Yeah.
In some way, right? Maybe forgetting that he's I don't know what it is that makes me think that, but there's some things there that makes me feel like he forgets his own ascension is coming.
Yeah.
That he might have more time left or whatever, even though he seems very clearly like, no, I only have 3 days, which also I guess is how many episodes we have. So I guess we've been having 1 day per episode since episode 1. I just didn't realize. That's essentially what's been going on.
Yeah.
Who knows? The timeline is all screwy. So I guess Day has been down in Mycogen in that apartment for almost 2 days now.
Yeah. I also, okay. This isn't as serious, but I do want to talk about it. We agree that the ferret's real. I feel like the camel was real.
Because Quent sees.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I feel like they eat dinner with it, but I feel like the camel was real too. It's not of extreme consequence. My actual question is, I'm like, this is Empire. There's nobody to take care of the animals? Like, they're like, yeah, the animals are just wandering about.
Yeah, Day wasn't doing that.
I'm like, yeah, well, he's been gone for a while now.
Yeah.
And no one is like in charge of just making sure that the palace isn't a shit show.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, okay, he's been gone. I think we can take the camel back to the courtyard or whatever. I'm like, what? Let's just move. Or like the ferret. I'm like, so there's just a ferret loose in the palace for the last 2 days, 2 months, whatever it's been. I'm like, that's weird to me.
Here's the deal. We know maybe it was never an editing problem. Maybe I misread the very beginning. Let me throw another wild-brained theory out for you, Morgan.
Oh, yeah,
now that we're talking about it.
Let's do it.
I guess maybe the ferret isn't real.
Whoa.
And if that's true,
Quint's
maybe
also
Quint
fucking
is
crazy.
also not real.
Oh my God.
What if he's imagining all of that? What if he's losing his mind so much that it's just he's trying to live out some sort of fantasy that he put himself into his head that he's not sure exactly.
And the real reason that the ascension needs to happen is because Demerzel knows that like at age 62, every Cleon loses their fucking mind.
They've been saying we degrade faster.
Yeah.
And we have not seen what that looks like. Besides the fact that you become less Cleon.
We go
right?
get Mad King Cleon.
That's just a possibility.
He's
like,
got
do
a
we
Death
know?
Star.
Do we know for sure that ferret was there? That he's not seeing it. The thing is like, I don't think he would. I mean, I guess he would fantasize stepping on it, right? I think it was real. I think the camel wasn't real. I think Quint is real, but I guess in the possibility that the ferret because the ferret wasn't left on the ground. I guess it was left on the ground, so it was left with a child to essentially maybe take care of, unless they went there and snagged it and brought it back. Right? It doesn't just show up at the palace. Doesn't seem like it would be easily find its way back home, but maybe it would. I guess if that's not some weird editing problem from the writing perspective. Like, I don't know. It's fine if it can be explained. So I'm not throwing it out of their own possibility, but assuming it's not any of those things.
Yeah.
Do we know the ferret was real?
That's a tough sell for me.
Yeah.
It has a name and they named it.
Yeah. But Dust doesn't remember the name.
He does.
I mean, he kind of remembers.
He says
It starts with a
It's a
M
C.
or
It's
whatever.
like Calissa or something
Capillus,
like that.
right?
Capillus. Yeah.
But I don't know.
I'll tell you what, if that theory of all the webs we've weaved here.
I think the ferret was real before. I just don't think it's real now. To clarify.
Wait, what do you? I don't understand.
I don't think the ferret showed up at the palace.
Oh,
I think the possibility is that he's imagining Quint and the ferret and the camel and a lot of different things.
I see.
He's imagining all of those things. I think the possibility is there. I don't think that's a true theory myself. I think it is all real and the ferret was there and he did kill the ferret.
Yeah.
But I think there's a possibility, assuming that it wasn't a writer and editor mistake, that the ferret is still with that little girl and he's imagining this for whatever reason, that he is literally losing his mind to the point. What is this?
I see.
What does the degradation of Cleon look like? Why do they need to ascend faster? Is it because he literally is losing it? Where is he right now? Right? We see him in different places.
Yeah.
He's suddenly at the gun place. He's suddenly here. Is the scientist a real person? At any point, I have to wonder: are these writing problems, or are we just dealing with unreliable narrators of characters?
Yeah.
Right? What are we seeing with Dusk that is not really there, or really happening? Because you're right, that camel doesn't just show up. Someone would be taking care of it. It's not like Day was taking care of all these animals.
No.
I guess if he stopped feeding them, they would just be walking around, and they allow Empire to kind of do whatever. So they kind of like turn their heads away, so I guess that's a possibility. But I also just feel like maybe he is losing his mind and didn't see that camel. And which makes me wonder what else, because no one had seemed to acknowledge the camel. No one else did. So is Dusk losing his mind, or are we seeing, what are we seeing that's real or not real? Mm-hmm. I just have to wonder, know? So who knows? I guess we'll hopefully get more answers next episode. I think the main thumbnail for next episode is him on the throne with Demerzel there. So we're going to at least get some interaction.
Okay.
As he tries to deal with this Foundation's end. Our final character we got to talk about, though, is Toran.
My man.
Toran Mallow. The guy. Toran is having a day.
Yeah, for real, dude.
He is in hell right now. I think this is his far from home moment. Again, if we have like a hero's journey character at all, it's this fucking guy.
Yeah.
That he is going through it. He's not where he needs to be. As he said before, he's like, I just want to be famous. I want to be on the beach making my scatters, and now I'm here saving my wife, sure, but not definitely in a war zone. This is not where I want to be.
Yeah.
Where I have to be called upon to do things. Even when he gets to Randu's like, no, she saw this. You could be this.
Yeah.
You know, she saw such greatness in you, and he struggles with it. He's like, I would have wanted you to say that before.
Yeah, for real.
But not anymore. It's not the moment. Randu,
No, I mean,
not under the control of someone else that I know you're under control of, you know, like it's not true. It's always about pride. It's always, you always want to have someone to be proud of you. Huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is as close as I think we get to swashbuckling, is this kind of Mexican standoff between him and Randu.
This was the most swashbuckling part of the episode for sure.
You know, don't go for the gun, but I go for the gun anyway. Ooh, what's going to happen? Who's going to fire first? Some fun stuff. And the escape, so good.
Yeah.
Such a good escape. Oh my God. But yeah, we talked about it. What is going on with Toran? Why is he not also under the spell? And what's going on with Beta?
Yeah, what's special about them?
I don't know.
It's just like, are influencers mule proof?
Again, I'm not clear that Beta was mule proof. Mule. Oh my God, it's such a weird word now that I think about it. I don't know. She might have been under control this whole time.
Maybe, yeah, totally.
But Toran, not so much. Definitely not. I really hate that they took one of our favorite characters and just knocked her out for basically a whole episode, but hopefully we'll get more of her later. I really hope she is still the same character that way.
Yeah, I hope so too. Man, I do.
Yeah. But yeah, but Toran definitely, there's something going on with him, and it is interesting to see with everything going to chaos around him, how he is fighting through it and seemingly not under any sort of spell at all. Like it's not bothering him at all.
Yeah.
He also was able to kind of get out of that null field like pretty easily and not be affected. Like we see how much it affected Beta, you know? And so he's doing some like pretty heroic things, but so I have to wonder, like, how long has this been in him this whole time, and what else do we not know about him and what's going on?
I mean, it definitely begs the question. I also wonder if...
Do you think he has mentalic?
That's what I was going to say, is that, like, does he have powers that he just doesn't know of yet? Right? Is he more like the mule or impervious to influence in this way because there's something yet to be unlocked about him or whatever? But I don't know. I was also trying to think of, like, back to Hober, and was there something about Hober that we're forgetting, you know, or...
Yeah.
But
it seems like the blood is stronger in him, right? Maybe there was something in the Mallow blood. I don't exactly understand what Hober's relationship is with the Spacers or something, but like obviously he went to them and had a great relationship to bring them to Foundation side and all that kind of stuff. And he really affected the course of Foundation and history, right? To be the person that he is. And it's kind of one of those like bloodline things where I have to wonder where like Randu is an uncle, but he's also unsure of like there's like the Targaryens, there's many bastards kind of out there, you know? So is there something that Hober maybe had in his blood or did to his blood after learning about Spacers or trying to help his legacy in the future or whatever, that it shows how much Toran maybe has that blood more so than Randu does.
Absolutely.
That kind of thing, you know, that's clearly like he's a direct descendant, you know, I don't know, but maybe that's something part of it.
Yeah. Definitely. I definitely want to know more.
Yeah.
But he's like for sure a rising star of the universe, right? It's like
absolutely.
They're giving him a lot.
Yeah. But I do. Yeah. And he rises at the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he has to ascend out of hell, and he does it screaming. Not only is he losing everything.
Yeah.
He's losing his uncle.
Wife.
The one person that he would have wanted to impress.
Yep.
The one person he would have loved to say that is proud of him, and then now also his wife. He's failing his wife.
Yeah.
And he screams as he gets out of there.
Yeah.
He's
intense.
Yeah, he's in hell. So we're seeing him definitely at his lowest. But yeah, he gets out of there. Oh, what a cool way. What a cool thing. Sorry, Randu, we barely knew ya. But yeah.
Are we upset about it at all? In the slightest?
Not at all.
So satisfying seeing the hole in his head.
It kind of was.
Yeah. Just like, fuck this guy.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that leaves Toran with the claim to the traitors.
Yeah.
And he's the real leader of the traitor organization now.
Hollow Throne.
Yeah. Who knows what will come of that, if he'll take it on or if it'll be thrust upon him.
Certainly seems like a man who's getting accustomed to taking on more and more responsibility.
Yeah. Not a great fighter though, so he needs to work on that.
Yeah.
A guy with one arm took him out pretty easily.
He's a swashbuckler. He'll learn.
He's gotta learn some tricks.
Yeah, I think he's gonna learn to fight
learn
dirty.
to cheat.
Yeah. No, for real. I think he's gonna learn to fight dirty.
Yeah. I mean, this is pretty dirty. That's a pretty dirty way. He knew exactly what was going to happen to Randu.
Yeah.
And I think he felt really bad about it. I didn't know how much he cared about Randu, but it seems like he cared a lot.
Yeah.
I
mean, yeah, for better or for worse, as much as we hate Randu because he's on the wrong side of history, as it were.
Yeah.
Still his uncle.
Yeah.
Still raised him, right?
But yeah. But I'll be honest, the best moment for me is when they take Beta and he fights tooth and nail.
Yeah.
Like, don't fucking touch her.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, dude, I loved it. I loved how he did that. I loved him fighting for his wife. Loved him trying,
Yeah.
that he really went there. And I was like, yeah, because that's what I want from this character. Because I also felt the same way.
Yeah.
So I love that he did that. But yeah, he leaves. Who knows where he goes? I'm assuming gonna team up with Han, and insurrection's gonna happen, and hopefully, maybe Han can glean some information as to why Toran is the way he is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In some way, and they're gonna have to fight the Warden and Stephanie. Stephanie's not. She's gonna do some cool traitor stuff, I'm assuming.
You keep saying that. I'm skeptical now.
Oh, you think she's under control now?
I'm
worried. I am worried.
Yeah.
To be fair.
No, I'm just waiting for them to give her anything.
That's true. Like, yeah. I mean, we got a name.
Yeah.
You got a name. So
it only took 3 weeks.
Yeah. So yeah. And they will also be up against the Mule.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming Gale's also coming. I assume, we're going to use this black hole gun in the next few episodes.
No, we'll have a coalition.
Some things are happening. We'll see. And then, of course, we get the ultimate pairing of Harry and the Mule.
Yeah. We talked about this.
What is that conversation going to be?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm assuming we're going to learn, if not this episode, by the penultimate episode, what is going on with the Mule and where Magnifico is and what is the actual story.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be somehow revealed to Harry, or Harry's going to have figured it out, right?
Yeah.
And Harry, at this point, he's an AI, so we know the Mule can't really control him. So we know, right? So it'll be interesting. This like battle of wits and minds, or whatever is going on here.
Yeah, they're setting the stage.
Yeah. So super interesting. We're already well into speculation corner. We kind of ended our thing, and I didn't, do the say it. I didn't say the transition, but yeah. Any other hopes or thoughts or dreams of what might happen, might come to pass?
I don't think so. I mean, like, I think we touched on a lot of the stuff that I'm curious about already, and a lot of the speculation that I was writing the last couple episodes, I think got put on the back burner this episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm curious. I'm ready for more.
Yeah. Again, long episode, kind of drew it out a little bit. Hopefully the pace picks up a bit.
Agree.
I feel like they can start moving a little bit along and packing some things in there. As much as I love TV shows taking their time, I'm feeling the pacing problems this season. But hopefully it all wraps up in a good way. Which I think brings us, Morgan, to our new favorite segment.
Yeah.
Who do you have the biggest crush on this episode?
It's hard not to say Toran.
It's hard not to say Toran.
I think it's just Toran again.
Oh, yeah. It's just Toran again. That guy. I mean, he doesn't get much to do, but he is fighting for his life.
Yeah.
You know, and to be fair, this episode doesn't leave much for analysis.
Yeah.
Things happen. I don't think it was like a heavy,
I agree.
you know, on, you know, it's just action, you know, it's a lot of action, a lot of things. And then there's also a lot of still just questions happening, you know. The biggest thing does though come with Day, right? I think the biggest climax of ideas and things usually is coming from whatever Day's doing.
I agree. He's the one that's like the most out there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I really wish Dusk, he was in the running, you know.
Yeah.
I will say, I could give my crush to Quint.
Oh, okay.
You know, she's still trying really. She cares a lot about Foundation. We're seeing a lot about her, you know,
acting in good faith.
And I did love that storyline. If not for Dusk now, the star-crossed lover thing. Like she's like, I wanted to do that for 30 years. It's like, great, yeah, like get what you want, you know, at the end of it all.
I
right?
do, and like as much as we joke about like old people and romance, it is sweet and tender that like, oh, these people have known each other for so long, towards the end of their lives are finding each other. That's cool. I'm here for that. Yeah. It's just a bummer that we're like, oh, but also Dusk is still a monster. Yeah, absolutely. And in the flashback portion of the flashback, the previously on, they point out how like these two, which is where I thought it was going to go such a different direction, but these two are opposite sides of the war. Yeah. That they are, look at them coming together. She mentions that. She's like, we are the ones that could change all this. And I think she does have, as an ambassador for Foundation, she has a certain amount of power. She has a certain amount of like empathy. And she seems like she really cares about the Prime Radiant and the Foundation and whatever's going on, despite what we've seen in Foundation is like not great. You know, the mayor sucks and Foundation has done some potentially bad things, assuming that, you know, the Mule is a reliable narrator, right? Totally. But she seems great, right? And she really is also fighting, you know? Yeah. And I think she does have some major moments here that she deserves a little crush, you know? Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. So I'll give it to her this episode. Nice. Toran, very close. But couldn't beat out just love, you know? Yeah. Just good old fashioned star-crossed love. And that's it. I think that's our analysis and our talk about this episode. Pretty simple, pretty easy, as usual. If anyone out there has any thoughts about what we talked about, very short episode, not very analytical. I'm sorry if that's what you came here for, but it was very basic. Be honest, though. You know, we tried our best to really engage with it, but I think it is really it's a lot of setup. It's more setup episode as per usual with these kind of things. You know, loving what we're seeing though, and like I said, kind of waded into the pool. Yeah. Of swashbuckling. Yeah, we'll get there. But yeah, you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything, email us. Feel free to keep commenting on TikTok. You see, I'll pull from them a lot. No spoilers though. Stop spoiling shit.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
What percentage are you that Magnifico is a mule, by the way? I'm just curious.
50-50.
You're still 50-50 on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably say like I'm a good 70 that it's still him because we don't know how much we can trust the visuals that we're seeing, you know? That said, I think people still like to talk about like, oh, the mule, it's not really the mule, it's Magnifico. I'm like, no, the mule is still the mule.
Yeah.
In my head.
It's not the
even
name.
if Magnifico is in charge, the mule is still the mule. Magnifico is Magnifico. There's two different things for me, you know? So that's just how I feel about it.
I agree.
Right?
Sure.
But yeah, and stop telling me to read the book.
Heard that.
I don't want to. I'm not going to. I am going to, maybe eventually, but I like speculating anyway. Anyway, thank you so much, Morgan, for joining me and for having this talk. It was a lot of fun, as usual. It was a great episode, and I am sure we're gonna do it again next week.
Hell yeah!
And I'm looking forward to that.
We'll get some more next week.
So see you next week. See you guys later.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Codependent Content. For updates, you can follow us on social media. And if you ever want to see a video version of this podcast, feel free to check us out on YouTube or Spotify. If you have any questions or simply want to tell us about something we missed, you can email us at codependentcontent@gmail.com or just leave a comment on TikTok and we'll get back to you. Links to all our accounts, where to contact us, or other ways to support will be in the description or show notes. We're glad you're here and working through your traumas with us. Remember, when you're lost in the darkness, search for the light. Live long and prosper, and may the force be with you. Until the next session, cowabunga, dudes.